No Mans Sky, published by Hello Games all the way back in 2016, is a game known for its devs doing the impossible by taking a nearly unfinished project and turning it into a piece of art that will be played years to come. And of course, from its early stages of development to having over nearly 25 plus updates today, it's had its fair share of history both in-game and in the real world. And today, we will be diving into the No Mans Sky Iceberg.
And before we get into it, a quick shout out to the amazing player that made this iceberg.
Reddit user JC Game Developer. Because of him, I was inspired to make this video. Now, let's dive into it. This is without a doubt the biggest factor that drives the player base towards No Man's Sky. With over 255 entire galaxies worth of planets to explore, totaling up to 18 quintillion planets. It would take you nearly 585 billion years to explore them all. In fact, barely even 1% of the starter galaxy, Elucid, has been explored.
E3 2015 demo. The easiest way I can describe the demo from the 2015 E3 games was it was a promise from Hello Games to their players saying basically this is what we have to offer, this is what you can get from this game, which was a complete lie, obviously. The Atlas Path. The Atlas Path is one of 3 story missions within No Man's Sky. If the player chooses to follow the Atlas Path, then they will come across strange space stations ran by the Atlas, in which they will be able to interact with the Atlas itself. The 3 alien races. Throughout No Man's Sky, you'll be able to find 3 main alien races. The Gek, the Korvax, and the Viking, all which have their very distinctive lore and deserve their own videos. Sean lies. I've tried 5 times to do this without laughing, okay? Hold on. All of the planets you will land on are real. I have been there. I have met these natives of these exotic lands. I return you with spices and sacred gems, friends. Rich bounties awaits. To the ships. What? The worst part is that's not even the worst one I found. If you find a planet you really like, you'll be able to marry it. That's why it's so important to name your planets as you discover them. You don't want to marry the wrong planet by mistake. Wow. This honestly shouldn't even be in the video because it's so obvious, but at the beginning of launch, No Man's Sky had a really poor, basic, and bland user interface. Scrapped 3D models. While there isn't much information on this topic, I do have 2 pictures which indicates there could have been an extra character or even the main character in the game. 7th generation console ports. I had to do a lot of digging for this one, and I found this image across the internet. Basically, it looks like a website for frying video games onto CDs, and you could even do it to PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. No Man's Sky was created in an old version of Source 2. Alright, we must be getting really deep into this because I'm having trouble finding stuff now. Open source is a software that is distributed with its source code, making it available for use, modification, and distribution with its original rights. And I'm guessing it's also what FNAF 2 was made on. What happened in the abandoned freighters? Throughout space, there are some freighters that have been infested with a sinister alien presence. There are 3 currently known as Minifield, Green Jellyfish, and Rogue AI. As the crew fled, systems failed, the lights are off, life support and gravity are offline, and security AI has gone haywire. The universe is a simulation. The No Man's Sky universe is a universe stimulated by the Atlas. According to the in-game lore, many vastly different iterations of the universe existed, with very different histories and races. And as the Atlas AI becomes more and more corrupted, the universes became more and more simulated with each other. The Atlas origin. The Atlas was created by the Atlas Foundation after their research on AI and simulated worlds, to simulate universes and find answers to the reasons of our existence. The true story. In all reality, no one can really tell you the true story of No Man's Sky. There are many theories, however. One of them correlates to being a simulation in which we are taken by the Atlas Foundation and put into it, being used as their research guinea pig. Living ship's origin. A living ship is an organic ship, a cross between a traditional ship and a living being. Exactly where they come from is pretty unknown, but there are certain planets with similar plants and fungal found on them that look like the birthing places for living ships. The Korvax are humans. The Korvax are a sentient mechanical species that venerate their god, the Atlas. They want to know more about themselves and the universe around them. Sounds pretty human, right? We don't find this interest in the other two races. When a Korvax robot body begins to fail, their conscience is released in the form of an echo, and from the Atlas, a new Korvax is born from this very echo. It's an external process, but lore says it hasn't always been like this. That isn't all the evidence for this theory though. At the beginning, when a Korvax experiences its human death, his echo would go straight into the convergence, also known as the simulation. There was even a time where the Korvax worshipped the Sentinels. They are the guardians of the Atlas and enforce the rules. The Korvax are an anthropomorphic species, and in contrast to the Gek and Viking, they are very much like us. Number 16 meaning in-game, that there are 16 minutes before the Atlas dies, the universe comes to an end and the simulation crashes. And the player, the last traveler, is given the choice to either restart the simulation or continue traveling until the universe comes to its inevitable end. Why 16 though? The most reasonable claim states that it relates to the actual programming of the game itself. Hexadecimal base 16 number systems is an essential part to the coding of the procedural universe. Also, the number of the planets in the game is 16 square 16. The Last Campfire No Mans Sky takes place in the same universe. The Last Campfire is a story about a lost ember in a puzzling place looking for a meaning and a way home. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Both being made by Hello Games aside, I remotely cannot even see why people would say these two are in the same universe. They have virtually nothing in common, but I guess it's just like a little fan theory. Nobody can freely tell you the true story of No Man's Sky. There is not a single for sure answer. We're all grasping at straws trying to come up with the reason for this game. A better question would be, what is the purpose of it? Why does it make us feel the way it does? So insignificant and helpless when looking for a deeper meaning. This game and this game only can replicate that feeling. I've never had a bigger fuck you to my face than looking up to the stars asking for answers to only be greeted by a Sentinel ship flying towards me for no reason. The E3 demo was fake. No fucking shit. Who thought this? Who didn't know this? Tell me. Who didn't know this? I'm upset by this. Why is this on here? Wow, you really did. Why? Wow, everybody, wow. Not even talking about this one. Shadow Man. This is the first one that genuinely creeped me out. Of course, since we're so deep into the iceberg, it took a lot of digging to find this one. But after some digging on Reddit, I was able to come across this particular image. And now you might say, what's wrong with it? It just looks like a normal screenshot of a landscape. I went to check the comments and I found something really disturbing. And the more you look into the picture, the more you can see what I'm talking about. Bro, the way I would have hopped in my starship and flew. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that shit? And for the most part, it definitely could have been a bug, but I wouldn't take any chances. We are trapped in a time loop. This is yet another fan theory. Have you ever went up to somebody in the space station, talked to them, and noticed they said the same things, looked the same way, had the same ship, and offered the same trades? Or even seen a planet from far, far away after traveling multiple star systems? Instead of being a bug, this instead could be a very well implemented game mechanic. The creator themselves said this one was just a joke, but I still wanted to implement it into the video because of how cool it looked. Now I know this is extremely different from the type of content we do, but I really wanted to broaden our label and show we are more than just a gaming channel. Thank you all so much for watching. If y'all liked it, please do leave a like and comment, and even subscribe. It would really help out our channel. And if you do like this video, let me know in the comments so we can create more stuff like this. I really enjoyed it. It's probably our highest value video I've made so far, and that's that's kind of sad, but yeah. See y'all later.
Everybody know my name, Millie Floors Flames, plus I got that fireman, fuckers call me Lil Wayne. And I got a little gang, always full of niggas swag, trying to fucking suck me just so they can get they niggas mad. See me, I just sit and laugh.